all this satanic stuff. I'm not going to be involved in their little community groups or their little chat groups or their community gatherings. But when they come out of that and come to faith in Christ and then tell you what they were doing behind closed doors, what they were doing 2 doors down from where you live, what they were doing around the corner, why all those decorations were in their yard the way that they were, all of those images, when they tell you those things, Christian, why don't you actually listen to what it is they're saying? Here's my man, Forrest Frank. And before I play this, I guess I have to play this since we got Charlie Kirk and Forrest Frank. But once again, here's another moment where I have to ask you guys in the Christian music industry and for the folks that are in our culture, who's your real daddy? And I guess it's going to have to be Forrest Frank.
It's time to ask yourself, who's your daddy now?
Who's your daddy now? And I guess it's going to have to be Forrest Frank because I'm playing this clip and no one can deny. Here we go.
Truth about Halloween. Halloween is the highest day on the satanic calendar. It is also the night of the year where there is the most human sacrifice on the whole planet. If we look at it in a, let's call it the popular culture aspect first, so many people think Halloween is about candy and it's about dress up, but they don't question the meaning behind it. In a neighborhood or an area, there's houses, there's homes that celebrate Halloween. That whole perimeter becomes one big satanic ritual for that whole neighborhood.
You're saying my neighborhood right now is cooked? Like, what are you saying there?
Whether they're Christian or non-Christian, that have open doors, that moves or lives in a neighborhood like that will be affected. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what do we do as Christians?
I love the fact that he did exactly the same thing that I just said. The Satanists are wanting to infiltrate, cast spells, whatever it is that they do territorially in your area. And they want the evil to be pervasive in your territory and in your zone. And they want the evil spirits to pervade what's going on. They want the evil spirits in your home. They want the evil spirits. They want the darkness to reside. They want human sacrifices. And with all the stuff that's going on with human trafficking, I don't know why Christians aren't more intentional about this aspect. That also on Halloween, not only will there be the highest number of child human sacrifices that are taking place, but exploitation of human beings during that time with a demonic spirit behind it. But that's a whole nother episode for another day. I'm just going to put that out there for you. And then he does the exact same thing that I just told you that Christians do. He told you that all of these demonic things are going on. And the interviewer says, so does that mean that we're cooked? And he's like, let me tell you what it is that I'm saying. Why didn't you listen the first time to what it was that he's saying? Why does he have to say it 2 times? It's because Christians are daft. Our arguments and our weak sauce is idiotic. We just check our brains out. You know, as long as we can go on our vacations, as long as things are comfortable for us, as long as we can vote our people into power, as long as we seem to be gaining the upper hand, as long as we can talk about college revivals, as long as things seem favorable to us Christians who are in the West, we are not concerned about the issues that are actually out there in the spiritual realm. That's just what it is. We're pragmatists. We've become idiotic cultural pragmatists. When we win and when things look good for us, we don't care about anything else. But in the spiritual realm, things could be going to literally to hell around us. And we're like, I don't know what that means. I don't know about spiritual darkness. What are you actually saying about what Satan is trying to do? Why do you not already know this? And why do you have to ask him the question twice? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Firstly, we make sure that we are in righteous standing with God.
This should have been the whole video. Firstly, we make sure that we're in right standing with God. I think that the reason why Christians are so daft and their arguments are so idiotic on this subject matter is because we're actually not in right standing with God. Why does it take an ex-Satanist to have to come and tell Christians what they need to be doing? I mean, I know he's got a certain vantage point and he is a Christian now, but it seems like the vantage point of somebody who was involved in the highest levels. I think we can maybe all agree upon this, that somebody who's a devoted Satanist leader is at the highest levels of darkness. Would you not agree with that? So why does he have to come back and tell people they need to be in a right standing with God? We should be telling people that. We should be using every opportunity every single day. We're not 364 day a year Christians. We're 365 day a year Christians. And if October the 31st is one of those days and we claim that day for the Lordship of Jesus Christ, I don't give a rip. We can celebrate the birth of Christ on October 31st. We can celebrate the birth of Christ in November. We can celebrate the birth of Christ in December. Let's take it all over as Christians. And I'm not speaking like a Christian nationalist saying we need the politics to be able to do this. The politicians are probably the least qualified people to be able to do this. But as Christians who actually have some boldness, who actually have some courage, why don't we as Christians take over every single day